Do the Houston Rockets need to go out and add a star this offseason? Of course, the Rockets just got eliminated by the Warriors in the playoffs, first round of the playoffs. They're coming off a 52 win season in Ime Udoka's second season. Last year, they were 500. Young core, this was a lot of the guys' first playoff experience. Talking about Jalen Green, Amin Thompson, Alpi, Tari, Bari. Who else? Who else? And I think that's pretty much it for the guys who had you know, the main rotation minutes. So a lot of, this was pretty much them getting their feet wet. Um, and the Warriors were favored in the series. So coming to the series, even though they were the seventh seed, the West was pretty much tight after OKC. It wasn't much of a difference in team wins from 2 to 8, right? It was maybe four or five games depending on the two teams. So that's that. It was pretty tight as the West normally is. But now you go into the off season. What is the plan? What is the plan? I'm going to give three scenarios, three things that I think might happen. Okay. So you got a bevy of stars. I feel like right now there's possibly a bevy of stars on the table that the Rockets could potentially trade for. I'm thinking of guys like there's been rumbles in New Orleans with Zion. There's been rumbles, kind of rumors with the Grizzlies with Ja. Of course, KD with the Suns. And then you got Giannis, maybe with the Bucks. And then even going back to the Suns, maybe Devin Booker is on the table. Even though I did see a notification that he said he will sign a 2-year extension, but guys say things all the time. You never know. You honestly never know. So it's quite a few guys the Rockets could target, and being the way that they are set up, how the roster is constructed, you have this team. The Rockets have a lot of assets, and they can go out. They can put. I'm looking around the league. They probably can put together the best trade package to go out and get a star, just based off of the guys they have, how young they are, right? Because they've been in the lottery the past 4 or 5 seasons, stacking up on that young talent. Okay. So one, the first scenario, say the Rockets just decide to run it back. Same team, exactly the same team, maybe one or two changes, minor changes, they just run it back. You're looking at free agency, the upcoming free agents. Fred Van Vliet has a team option. Steven Adams is a free agent. Aaron Holiday is a free agent. I think Jeff Green as well, but and I think Jay Sean Tate too. And a couple, I think maybe Nate Williams and McVay. But Adams, Holiday, Fred Van Vliet. I think you gotta, and then Jeff Green for the veteran leadership. You got to think about bringing him back. Say they bring all those guys back. You run it back with the same team. Now, if you do that, you're assuming that the window isn't quite as big as you want it to be in terms of competing for a championship. That's the only way I see the team, bring back the exact same guys. So, like I said, Fred Van Vliet, man, he showed up big time for those 3 games, that 3-game stretch to, you know, lead the Rockets into that game 7. He was, in my opinion, he was the best player in the series for the Rockets. And of course, championship pedigree in Toronto. Um, he was an all-star. He's a tough guy, man. He's just a tough player. And then Steven Adams, man, he's going to have some, like I mentioned in my last video about the Rockets, he's going to have some bidders. He's going to have a lot of teams looking at him, just seeing what he brought to the Rockets this season and specifically in this series. Um, he's one of the best rebounders in the league, one of the strongest, if not the strongest guy in the league when he set those screens, man. It's a brick wall. Guys can't really get around it. And yeah, man, he is valuable. He is valuable as a big, as a backup big. Steven Adams is not he he's got to be top 10. He's got to be top 10 backup big. As a center, I should put that as a center, he's got to be top 10. And then you look at Aaron Holiday, he's a great, you know, eighth, ninth guy in the rotation. So I think Aaron Holiday as like the third point guard in a sense, or in that area, he's a solid player. He's a solid player. So you bring those back only if you bring all of those guys back. You don't make any changes to the roster if you believe that your window isn't quite open yet, and you are banking on Amen Thompson improving, which I think he will. He is the future of this team, and you bank on Jalen Green getting better as well. Okay, Alpi, he's proven to be an all-star. Jabari, you're banking on all these guys getting better. Jabari Tar, you're just banking on those guys going to that next tier in terms of their game. Okay, that's one scenario. The second scenario, trading for Kevin Durant. Trading for Kevin Durant. Now, the Suns, their big three just didn't work. Okay, Devin Booker, KD, Brad Bill, it just didn't work out. And the writing is on the wall. KD is looking like he's on his way out this offseason. And when you're looking around all the guys who may be available, the Giannis, Booker, Ja, Zion, Kevin Durant at his age, he's 37, turning 38. I think he's around that age. He's probably going to be the cheapest. The cheapest in terms of the package that you can, put together, get him without losing a ton. Now you're still going to have to lose something because, of course, this is Kevin Durant. He's still playing at a high level, but it is some give and take. Okay, I mentioned his age. Kevin Durant, he, I think he has a history. I think recent, ever since pretty much the Achilles, he does miss some time during the regular season. That's the risk you take when you're getting an older player. That's just father time, right? So, but when you look at the series that how the Warriors play the Rockets when they went to zone, especially in that game 7, man, the offense stalled out. Imagine KD in there. Easy. He's going to shoot them out the zone. He's going to literally shoot. He can get to the midi. It was a lack. The problem was a lack of shooting for the Rockets. Fred VanVleet played fantastic during that stretch where he was, knocking down those shots. But really nobody else was really, Barry had some great shooting games as well. But everybody else, it was like when when the team goes zone, when the defense goes zone against you, you need guys to knock down that perimeter shot. So Kevin Durant, and then how I think the trade would look. Now, Jalen Green, he struggled mightily. Is no what should I say? Is no way around it. Jalen Green struggled mightily. And I'm not going to put everything against these guys because, like I said in the beginning, this was all the young guys. This was their first playoff experience, first time in the playoffs. So it's not like I'm bashing Jalen Green, like first time in the playoffs. But I think if the goal is not to regress, and you think the championship window is open. If the Rockets think that the championship window is open, which me as a Rockets fan, I think it is. If you make a move for Kevin Durant, I think the trade would look like Jalen Green would have to be the headliner. He would have to be involved in that deal. And then you're looking at guys like maybe Reese Shepard, Cam Whitmore, Dylan Brooks, even though Dylan Brooks had a fantastic regular season and he was pretty solid in the first couple of games of the series. I think that, and then you throw in some picks. The Suns probably want their picks back because they probably won't be, if you're giving away Kevin Durant, probably won't be that good. I think the Rockets hold I think is it this year's and then next year, something around it. They want their picks back. So I think that's a possibility. And I think that is probably this is probably the best move for the Rockets, trading for Kevin Durant right now, in my opinion. If you think that the championship window is open, you go get Kevin Durant right now, this offseason. And now the other target, which I don't know if it's on the table. Again, you're looking at teams who another team with a superstar and they don't have young uh players with high potential. The Bucks, Giannis. Now, I think if you trade for Giannis, then you keep Jalen Green because I don't think, and the guy that I'm about to mention, uh, people may be, you know, they may have an issue with it, Rockets fans, but I know he had a fantastic year. But if you trade for Giannis, you got to throw Alpi in there. Alpi has to be the headliner along with those guys that I mentioned. Similar to the JG trade, but just swap out JG for Alpi because I don't think Giannis could coexist with Alpi on. I just don't see that. Even though, of course, Alpi and Adams played well together. Those couple of games, quite a few games in the series, but I just don't see Alpi and Giannis. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think the Rockets will rather trade. I think it makes more sense to trade Alpi, put him in that package if you're trying to go get Giannis. So those are my thoughts, man. Then you gotta Fred Van Vliet. I think he's etched to make what 40 is it 40 mil if the team decides to keep with the team option. Maybe you try to renegotiate, bring that number down just a little. So it's a little bit of wiggle room to try to get maybe another wing. If these trades happen to happen, like that's what I'm thinking. But I think the best situation, if you think that championship window is open, KD, KD, because the team couldn't just go zone. If you think that the window is not there quite open yet to contend for a championship, keep the same nucleus. But if you think that window is open to go get a ring, go get KD. Those are my thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Do you think the Rockets should go out and get a star this offseason?